Hey guys, I'm your host and you are watching Wrestle AI. Today, we are going to talk about the Bloodline storyline, and let me tell you, it has become one of the most controversial topics in WWE right now. WrestleMania season is here, but surprisingly, we are struggling to find real hype for the biggest event of the year. Why? Because WWE has completely messed up the Bloodline storyline. Let's break down everything that has gone wrong and what WWE needs to do to fix it. There was a time when the Bloodline was the best storyline in WWE, from Roman Reigns' return in 2020 to his dominance as the Tribal Chief. This was cinema-level storytelling. But right now, the entire Bloodline story feels directionless. First of all, where is Roman Reigns? He won the Ulafala from Sikoa and reclaimed his status as the Tribal Chief, but what does that even mean if he's barely around? Who is he leading? Jey Uso is doing his own thing on Raw. Jimmy Uso is sidelined. Solo Sikoa is running a new version of the Bloodline. Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa have all joined, but what exactly is their goal? There is no clear leadership, and this makes the storyline weak and repetitive. Roman Reigns is supposed to be the head of the table, but the table is falling apart. One of the biggest talking points in this new era of the Bloodline is Solo Sikoa's role. When Roman lost at WrestleMania 40, many expected the Bloodline to end completely, but instead, WWE tried to restart it with Solo as the new enforcer. Solo is a great talent, but let's be honest, he does not have the same presence as Roman Reigns. He lacks the aura, the promo skills, and the storytelling depth that Roman had when he was building the Bloodline. WWE is trying to make Solo look like a dominant leader, but it just feels rushed and unconvincing. And let's not forget, Solo was supposed to acknowledge Roman Reigns after his WrestleMania loss, but that segment never happened. Instead, WWE quickly pushed Solo into leading the new Bloodline. The transition has been messy and unorganized. The difference between Vince McMahon's storytelling and Triple H's booking is very clear in this storyline. When Vince McMahon was in control, the Bloodline storyline was built perfectly. Jey Uso's rise as the right-hand man, Roman Reigns dominating the roster. Sami Zayn's emotional involvement, Cody Rhodes being positioned as the ultimate rival. But when Triple H took over, he had a difficult decision to make. He had the choices, and the Bloodline at WrestleMania 40 and let Roman move on. Extend the Bloodline storyline with a new direction. Triple H chose the second option, but the problem is he didn't have a strong plan. The new Bloodline feels like a copy-paste version of the original, and that is why fans are not as invested. One of the biggest mistakes WWE made was not pulling the trigger on The Rock vs. Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. Originally, the plan was for the Bloodline to end with The Rock vs. Roman, a true battle for the head of the table. This match was supposed to be the ultimate conclusion of the story, but WWE scrapped it and instead did The Rock and Roman vs. Cody and Seth. Although it was because of the fans chanting "We want Cody," but really this completely killed the momentum of the Bloodline. Instead of an epic conclusion, we are now stuck in a never-ending cycle of the same storyline, but with different characters. If WWE had stuck to Vince McMahon's original plan, the Bloodline story would have ended on a high note. Now, it is slowly losing relevance. Jacob Fatu has been one of the most exciting additions to WWE in recent months. His presence brings a level of danger and unpredictability, something that the Bloodline needs right now. But here's the problem: his storyline feels rushed. Jacob Fatu was introduced as Solo Sikoa's ally, but within weeks he suddenly became Solo's biggest enemy. This makes no sense. Jacob Fatu spent months calling Solo his brother, and now he wants to destroy him just because of one loss. This feud deserves a slow build, but WWE is rushing it to set up a WrestleMania match between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. While the match could be great, the storytelling has been weak. So, what is the solution? How does WWE fix this mess? Here's what needs to happen. Roman Reigns needs to return and take control. His absence is making the storyline weaker. If he's the tribal chief, he needs to actually lead the faction. And the Bloodline story at WrestleMania 41. It has been running for 4 years. It's time to move on. Stop repeating old storylines. We don't need a copy of Roman versus Jay, but with Solo versus Jacob, create something fresh. Bring back The Rock for one final match. If WWE wants to give the Bloodline a legendary ending, Roman versus The Rock needs to happen. If WWE doesn't make changes, this once iconic storyline will continue to decline. The Bloodline was one of the best WWE storylines in history, but right now, it feels directionless. Triple H had a chance to end it perfectly, but instead, we are seeing a weaker, recycled version of the original. Do you think the Bloodline storyline should end soon? Or should WWE try to make it work? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Follow me on social media for more WWE news, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep enjoying wrestling.